President-elect Donald Trump, can you work with him?
I'm confident that I can, but I'm not going to change my views and positions. What this administration's attitude or behavior towards Vladimir Putin will be.
Once upon a time, the Republican Party prided itself on standing for moral clarity, economic discipline, and strong foreign alliances. Figures like the late Senator John McCain of Arizona embodied the party's traditional values: an unyielding defender of democracy, a fierce critic of despots, and a believer in America's role as a beacon of freedom. Yet today, the party of McCain has been reduced to a meek, complicit shell of itself, surrendering its principles to the chaos and corruption of Donald Trump's presidency. Before we dive in, don't forget to like and subscribe for more insights. Trump's seek and destroy approach to governance has not only unraveled America's global standing, but also forced Republican lawmakers into an embarrassing state of silence and submission. Where are the voices of reason within the party? Where are the leaders willing to call out Trump's dangerous policies that are turning America into an international pariah? Sadly, the answer is nowhere to be found. Lindsey Graham, the McCain shadow who lost his way.
My party is going bat crazy.
You don't have to run for president and be the world's biggest jackass.
I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy.
Like the president, I want to help him. I hope he's successful. Deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and then some.
Perhaps no one illustrates this moral decline better than Senator Lindsey Graham. Once a close confidant of John McCain and a fierce advocate for strong alliances and democratic values, Graham has inexplicably morphed into one of Trump's most vocal defenders. McCain, a man who refused to bow to authoritarian figures and whose legacy included standing up to Vladimir Putin and other tyrants, would be aghast at what has become of his old friend. Graham, who once called Trump a kook and unfit for office, has since embraced the former president's erratic and divisive policies, abandoning the very principles he once held dear. Whether it's defending Trump's threats to NATO, justifying his reckless tariffs, or turning a blind eye to his coziness with Putin, Graham has positioned himself on the wrong side of history, opposite the legacy of McCain. Trump's foreign policy, a gift to Putin?
So today, the United States launched a trade war against Canada. At the same time, they're talking about working positively with Russia, appeasing Vladimir Putin, a lying, murderous dictator.
The sheer recklessness of Trump's foreign policy begs the question, does Vladimir Putin have something on him? The Kremlin has openly stated that its policies align with those of America, a chilling admission that should send shivers down the spine of any Republican who once believed in standing up to Russian aggression. Yet the silence from the GOP has been deafening. Trump's decision to abruptly cancel military aid to Ukraine, a move that served Russia's interests perfectly, was a direct betrayal of America's strategic commitments. Allies like Canada and Mexico have been left bewildered by Trump's belligerence, as he doubles down on trade tariffs and threatens more if they dare to retaliate. His isolationist and antagonistic approach has fractured relationships with longtime allies while strengthening adversarial ones, a strategy that seems almost tailor-made to benefit Moscow. The Republican Party's moral vacuum.
Now, for the first time in modern history, more Americans believe that our country is headed in the right direction than the wrong direction.
The silence from Republican senators and congressmen in the face of Trump's chaos is not just cowardice, it is a profound betrayal of the principles that once defined their party. This is the party that historically championed American strength, global leadership, and a commitment to democratic values. Yet under Trump's influence, it has devolved into a shadow of its former self, meekly accepting his erratic and unpredictable behavior. The transformation of the United States into an unreliable and volatile force on the global stage is not just a political shift. It is a moral failure. The moral compass that guided figures like John McCain, who stood unwaveringly for democracy and against authoritarianism, has been replaced by a toxic mix of opportunism, fear, and blind loyalty to a leader who disregards democratic norms with impunity. This silence is not merely a passive act, it is an active complicity in the erosion of America's standing in the world. By failing to speak out, these leaders have allowed Trump to coddle dictators, sabotage alliances, and undermine the very foundations of democracy. History will not be kind to those who chose political expediency over principle. For individuals like Lindsey Graham, who once stood for something greater, their legacies will be forever tarnished by their willingness to abandon their values for the fleeting embrace of power. The path forward. For the sake of America's future, one can only hope that some within the Republican Party will finally find their voices before it's too late. The party of Lincoln, Eisenhower, and Reagan must reclaim its identity as a champion of democracy, a defender of alliances, and a beacon of moral clarity. This is not just a political imperative, it is a moral one. The question remains, who will step up to fill the void left by leaders like McCain? Who will have the courage to stand against the tide of authoritarianism and chaos that has engulfed the party? The answers to these questions will determine not just the future of the Republican Party, but the future of American democracy itself. What is your opinion of the present-day Republican Party? Give us your answer in the comments section. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more in-depth discussions on politics, history, and the state of democracy. Together, let's keep the conversation going and hold our leaders accountable.